part of it. So
yeah. So, and it has to do with
I'm gonna look at it very simple more. That's love, you know.
Right.
He's in Detroit. Now he's a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to say that I had that mindset. You know, I'm trying to make my money 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
That's willing to spend that time to email you, reach out to them as love.
Yeah.
And I design. We want to make sure you're using any kind of art off the internet that one of my friends.
Ain't going like that.
Yeah.
Jose.
My son looks just like me, except he's.
So you see it's possible. And I need people to see it. It's possible. You just got to ride Detroit Forever 3-on-3. My brother Jose. Shaggy, Bow. We out. What up, though? On today's episode, we're going to sit down and kick it with the owner of Detroit Forever 313 clothing store, Jose Rivera. We're going to chop it up. We're going to get to a lot of game. So listen, let's get to it. That time. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Detroit Hustle and Business Podcast. Today we got a lot of information to get to. We got an awesome guest, and I'm going to introduce you to him. He's the founder and CEO, owner of the Detroit Forever 313 clothing store. He's also an artist, creative, born in New York, raised in Detroit, Southwest to be exact. He's a returning citizen and an entrepreneur. He's taking the city by storm, and he's making boss moves. So let me introduce you to my brother, man, Jose Rivera, man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, all right, we're just gonna get into it. A lot of guys want to know really what's going on, and you have a great story to tell because you're a returning citizen and you're doing big moves right now. So,
thank you.
Can you just talk about what you've been through before you even got to this stage?
Right. Basically, before I was even where I'm at today, I was incarcerated, actually twice. I was incarcerated for controlled substances, selling drugs. A 10-year bid, 7 years on my first bid. So I've done a lot of extensive time.
Absolutely.
So after that, I got out. I've been blessed to have good jobs here and there, but after the first time, I just didn't learn my lesson. I just didn't have a direction, didn't know what to do with what I possibly had in me that I didn't know was there. So it took a little beating upside the head to figure out what I'm capable of other than just the streets. So before that, like I said, I was born in New York. I've been raised here, Southwest Detroit, all my life, and I'm just glad to be back, and I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying, to give the city a better outlook, especially our community. So
absolutely,
I'm just blessed to do what I'm doing. It just took a minute to find out what I have inside.
That's right. That's a beautiful thing. And a lot of guys are in that position. They don't know what they have. They don't know have information about certain things.
Right.
So, and this is where you come in because you can bless them with that information.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To help them take them in another direction.
Yeah. Basically, I figured out what I wanted to do. Honestly, I was involved with a friend of mine. He's family to me.
Okay.
Edgar Torres. He had Porter Rock Gear clothing line back in 2003, 4. I helped him market it. I enjoyed it. So I learned a lot from him. He showed me a lot. He taught me a lot. He gave me all the information I needed basically at the time. Once I was incarcerated, I had to sit down and was like, I need to do something different.
Absolutely.
So that popped up in my head, like, I would like to do a little clothing line. So, because I enjoyed it when I did it.
Right.
So basically, I researched it. I remembered he told me to read up on it. Started watching Shark Tank.
Yeah. That's a good show.
Yep. I used to do mortgages, so I'm
okay.
Finance is something that I do. Obviously, we're street hustlers, so it's in our nature.
Absolutely.
And I did a lot of research. How to start a clothing line, how to start a business in Michigan. That's actually a book. It's called How to Start Your Own Business in Michigan. That's an actual book that anyone can read and get as much information as you need out of that. I set up a plan. Fortunate enough to design. I'm an artist as well, so everything I came up with has a meaning to it. So it's just not some kind of just something I do together.
Just off the wall,
right? Yeah, something I didn't take it from here, take it from there. It's just something that I put together that I has a meaning to me. So a lot of my art has kind of like a symbolism.
Okay, cool.
So research, and know what you're talking about. A lot of research. I read a lot. Obviously in prison we don't have college. We don't have as
Right.
many trades. We don't even have
Absolutely.
trades for this anymore. So you got to be your own teacher. You got to
Right.
be dedicated to this. So
Dedicated.
research.
So let me ask you this: how many years did you spend behind the walls?
I was locked up 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Okay.
2007 to 2017 on the second one. First one was 1991 to 1998. That's when I was released. I was out 9 years. Then I went back. So I'm a B prefect.
Okay. So while you're in prison, you're doing this research.
Yeah. While
So
I'm in
this
prison.
is the plan you had while
While I
you're
was-
in there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought of all this. This was thought up in 2011, actually,
Wow.
while I was still incarcerated. 2011, I started drawing a few sketches, started reading up on it, kept going with it. This ain't the only project I've created either, but this started while I was incarcerated. I did the
Okay.
research on this. Yeah.
So it is possible to be focused on something you want to do when you get out without
Yeah.
being sidetracked.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
possible.
It's got to be. It's got to be in your heart. If
absolutely.
if it's what you want to do, if it's your ambition, if it's your desire, they say, you know, that drug dealers make the best entrepreneurs.
Right. They got that
So
hustle in them now,
all day long. So I didn't want to be incarcerated anymore. So I figured out, in order for me not to be incarcerated anymore, I got to do things that won't incarcerate.
There it is.
So, like I said, I just did all the research I could. They got, the library. You sign up, you go to the library, and next thing you know, you just start looking up things. And if you don't have it, some places have the ILL, the Interlibrary Loan System, where you can request a book that you want to read, and they will get it for you.
Oh, for free.
For free.
Oh, so guys don't have any excuse.
No.
Not to get the information.
No, if they got the interlibrary loan system, then yeah, you can definitely go up to the library, and then you can go ahead and request whatever book it is you're reading, or you can ask them, and most of the guys will give you the information.
Okay, yeah. So you can do that. You can do that while incarcerated.
Exactly.
That's the
All
beautiful
this
thing.
was incarcerated. All this.
Absolutely.
Even my art was while I was incarcerated. And
That's some good art too.
yeah, thank you, bro.
Absolutely. So, were you one of those guys that like wrote your plans down and goals, or did you just keep them in your head?
Nope. Wrote everything down.
Okay.
I kept a pen and a piece of paper on the side of my bed, even
There
every
it
night.
is.
Every night, man. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and if I had an idea, I would write it down. If I had a design that just popped in my head, I'd get up, write it down. If I'm watching TV, I would write it down. I was a laundry man, so all I did was sat down and draw, and design. So you got to be progressive. You got to think of the times, and you just always got to be ready with a pen, man.
Absolutely.
Everything's got to be written down. Everything.
And that's why I asked, because they said, I don't know the exact numbers, but the percentage of you reaching your goals is like 90% higher if you actually write them down.
Yeah.
You write them down, you can go back, look at them, make sure you're on the path, what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I just encourage all my hustlers out there, write your plans and your goals down.
It's like they say, it's write your ideas in sand and your plans in stone.
Say that again. Hold on. Say that one more time.
Write your
I need
ideas
that.
in sand and your plans in stone.
Oh
So,
my God, there it is. There it is.
That's what I did.
Okay.
I actually have all the notes that I wrote down. I still have them
Still
with me.
have them.
I brought them with me. Every book I bought on business, I brought home with me. And they're sitting in the back of my storage room. So they're here with me in my business, so that if I want to look at it again,
Absolutely.
I can refresh myself.
And that's what you need to do sometimes.
Yeah. There's many times I got to do that. Sometimes you get stagnant. You get caught up with everyday life.
Right.
And, you lose track of things. But I almost didn't do this because I got sidetracked. You come home, you start dating females, you start working, you start getting busy with everyday life as far as, bills and things of that nature. Everyone want to make that money, but you got to sit back and get patient.
You gotta get patient.
Get patient.
And get back refocused. And when you can see what you have wrote down, it'll help you get back focused.
All day long. If I looked at it and I went digging in my bags that I brought home for something else, and next thing you know, I just seen it like, you know what, I got to get back on this, because it was something I planned.
That was that sign right
there.
there.
That was that sign. I think it was God telling me, go ahead and look for that, so you
look
can be
for that.
refreshed.
Yeah. So hey, and it done wonders, because now you're here and you're actually succeeding at what you had goals for.
Right.
So that's what's up, man. So let me ask you this: what made you choose like the clothing industry, though, particularly? Like, what was it about that?
It was like I said when I started with Edgar.
You did mention that.
Yeah, that desire though is something that I didn't forget.
Okay.
When I thought of what I wanted to do, I enjoyed network, and I was already doing that. So I was already promoting at clubs.
Okay.
I used to promote at different clubs down here. I used to do a lot of different marketing and stuff. So that kind of resonated with me that I'm good at networking. Obviously, if you're selling drugs.
Right. Yeah. That's all the hustle.
Yeah, it's all the hustle. Exactly. So I remember that. It just stayed with me. Like, I appreciated it. You know, like when people would see me wearing Puerto Rican gear, they're like, "Oh, I like that shirt." You know, so
where'd you get it?
Exactly. Where'd you get it? Well, you know, let me know. I can get it for you. So that stuck with me as I was incarcerated, and you know, I decided to go ahead and just keep doing that. So I felt good about it. So because I felt good about it, I just said, you know what, I want to continue doing that. So.
Doing it. That's right. But like you said, that's all in the. Okay, yeah, but that's all in the hustle, because we learn certain hustles when we're coming up, even if we're on the wrong side, negative side of the hustles. But now, when we learn how to put it in a positive direction, all those same hustles still apply.
All the same apply. Everything
they still apply.
It's still the same. It's the same thing. It's just, you know, people used to tell me all the time, you know, like, you know, you're doing this now. Yeah, I'm still hustling. I'm still doing this. I'm not doing that white, but I'm doing cotton, which is black. So now I can get this cotton for you. I'm not getting that one for you.
Get that good cotton.
Yeah, I got that good cotton. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna get me incarcerated. This ain't gonna have me looking out the windows.
Exactly.
So I ain't got to worry about it. I can wake up every day, feel good about myself. I can, you know, not worry about the police kicking my door in. You know, because none of this stuff is, you know, trademark infringement or nothing of that nature. So I ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. So peace of mind. You know?
There it is. So that's what I'm saying. So he's been incarcerated, got out. He had a plan when he was inside. Now he's outside. He's putting his plan in motion. Was it difficult? Was there any barriers that got in your way, almost got in your way, as far as being an ex-felon to get into this type of business? Did anything get in your way?
Nope, not at all. No. The only way you don't start your own business is if you don't have the desire to do it. It's up to you. You make your own choices. You know, it's a choice of what you want to do with it, how you want to do it, and what it is that you're doing. You know, you got to find out everything that you're supposed to be doing in order to get there, so that you don't have any roadblocks, like you said. But I went and got my LLC. I got my EIN number.
Got that.
So those are all the credentials I really needed for business, because buying wholesale, you need those things. If not, then you won't qualify.
Right.
So that is how I started my business, was getting that LLC. The name, making sure I got the name protected, and that I have that registered as an LLC, so that others can't come and use your name, logo illegally.
So you're already protected.
I'm all the way protected. You know, even though what most people don't know is that you are technically protected as soon as you design or create something. Right. Yeah, you're still protected either which way it goes. It just makes it easier once you register it with the state and things of that nature. They used to have what they call a poor man's copyright, things of that nature. Poor man's copyright basically was if you had a logo or design or any kind of lyrics or things of that nature, you put it in an envelope and you mail it to yourself, and you just don't open it. That's a poor man's copyright. Yeah.
You can use that in court or something?
That's what they used to allow you to do in court. That's how they used to do a poor man's copyright.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I did that as well. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, even with my designs when I was incarcerated, I printed them all out from JPEG, and I sent them to my daughter. And I said, shout out to JPEG. And I told my daughter, hey, you know what? Don't open this package. Just leave it closed. I'm also creating a webcomic with a friend of mine named Sam Soto called El Barrio, and I did the same thing with that. So I took all my characters, all my scripts, and I wrote them down. I put them in, printed them out from JPEG, and I put them in an envelope, sent them to my daughter, said the same thing. Don't open. Just all right, Dad, and left it at that. So that is also how you can protect yourself.
So if anybody comes along, try to steal your idea, you can say, yo, I had this right here.
And JPEG has the date, time.
Has the date, time. I had it before you. So what are you talking about?
Exactly. So, that's another way. Yeah. So if I had to go to court and someone say, well, I created this logo in 2013, he was incarcerated. Well, I got it 2011. Timestamp from JPEG that.
See, I already give a value of information because I didn't even know that myself. So
it's called a poor man's copyright. You can Google that. Some say it's still valuable, some say it's not. I did it just because I know at one time they was using it.
Absolutely.
So why not just protect yourself in another form?
There it is. Yeah.
I do have my LLC number. I do have my EIN number, and my logo's trademark.
So he has all that too. So
and there are two types of trademarks. There's two types of trademarks.
Two types.
You got the state, and then you got the national. So you could have a local trademark, which is protected in that state. It's a And then you have a national one that's completely registered trademark, which is
Oh,
where you
okay.
see the R and all that. So,
Yeah, so you gotta have them both.
yeah,
just to
you
be
can have them both. You can have,
level.
yeah, you know. So,
Okay.
you know, just to be safe, you know, whatever you feel suits your business.
Okay, so you gotta be protected.
Yeah.
Though. That's
Exactly.
key.
That's the
But
key.
if not, people can still.
People
get
just
stuck.
people will,
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah, they're gonna try. Anyway.
they're gonna try anyway. You just,
Yeah.
you know, we go through proper channels.
There it is. There it is. That's what's up. Okay then. So, okay, I want to ask you about this building because
Okay.
the building you have, like, how'd you find it? What'd you go through to get the building?
This building is
Yeah.
ironic to me.
Okay.
It was completely just it was kind of nostalgic to be in this building.
Okay.
I used to do mortgages before I was incarcerated, and it was in this particular building.
Oh wow.
This same exact building. So the guy that
Before incarceration.
before incarceration.
Okay,
So
okay.
I was already familiar
You
with
were
this
back,
building.
yeah.
Yeah. So I did this. I used to do real estate here, mortgages with a friend of mine named Angel Vasquez. This is no lie. And we would be in this building back and forth, you know. So I happened to be driving up and down Michigan Avenue because I was looking for a small spot. I didn't need nothing big.
Right.
And I saw the for rent sign on the window. You know?
Oh, so they had.
And I was like, man, let me check that out real quick. And I mean, the sign was really not that noticeable.
Okay,
Again,
right,
I
yeah.
feel like it's another.
But you saw it, yeah.
I saw it because I'm
Yeah,
looking for
it was original.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I seen it, called it, and my man was like, yeah. So when I came in, I was like, man, Angel used to have a real estate office here. And he knew who Angel was. So he's like, oh, really? So we just worked it out. I talked to him, and then, you know, I had to do a lot of work to it, but
Okay,
you know,
right, yeah.
that's part of it. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. So
yeah.
when you got it, it wasn't in perfect shape. Is that what you're telling me? It
I'm
wasn't
telling
in
you,
perfect shape?
it was definitely not in perfect shape. It was
Okay.
definitely green everywhere. You
Green
know?
everywhere. Ugly
You know,
green.
Ugly
too.
green too. But you know, being a visionary like yourself, you know, you
Man.
can see what you could do with the building. You can
Right.
visualize it. You know, the
Okay.
potential. So yeah, I put work into it. I put a lot of work into it. A lot of cosmetic, you know, but you know, it's
Okay.
functioning, and you
Absolutely.
know, it serves my purpose.
Absolutely. And it looks good now, though. So,
Thank you, brother. Thank
and you had to put in the work to do it, though. So, you know.
you. Yeah,
And just like with any other game, you got to put in
you
work.
got to put in work.
You got a vision for it. And, you
Yeah.
know, you got to make certain sacrifices and put in work.
All
You
day.
had to put in sacrifices to be here?
Oh man, big time. I work at Chrysler, and
Okay.
they laid me off in April. So
Yeah.
that put a damper on finances as to what I, you know.
Right.
So actually, you know, the selling of the shirts is what kept me going with what I needed to do. It took me a little longer, but it
Okay.
paid for the building and it paid for everything that
Okay.
I had to do in here. So, and you got blessings from people. I mean, a lot of people helped me. You know, a lot of people were like to paint the building on the outside. It wasn't black on the outside. It was actually an ugly gray, but black covers, you know, a lot of you know, things that you don't want to be seen.
Blemishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we painted it black, and I mean, it was a favor from a good friend of mine, Rick Speck. You know, I won't say what he charged me because he won't charge everyone else that. But,
Right. Don't
but
put them on blast.
yeah. But a blessing was a
You got
blessing.
you, Rick.
Exactly. It was a blessing was a blessing. So you know, he did that for me. You know, I had people come in, help me. You know, I did a lot of work myself, but
Okay.
you know, definitely that.
But see, and that's the big thing what you're talking about right there, because when you're doing something positive, people want to be there and contribute to that.
Yeah.
And show you love on
Definitely.
certain things that, you know, takes on your way to get there.
Yeah.
So he showed you love on that
All
because
day
he's
long.
seen what you were trying to do.
And he was doing well. He's been home because he's also a returning citizen.
So he
was
know what it's
doing
like.
So he knows exactly what it's like. He said, hey, Jose, this is what we can work out, and this is what we can do. I got you. I said, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Called him, said, hey, you ready? He said, yep. I said, all right, bet. And, you know, we went through it, and like I said, I always say this, it's always the least people that you expect to help you that are going to help you.
All day.
You know,
All day.
everyone else that you expect to be there, you know, there's always a hurdle with that. you know?
Expectations are mother.
Man, yeah. We're gonna keep it
But
PG, but
you see him come through
you see
when the chips are right around.
for
You
sure.
know?
And you notice it, but you know, it's
Right.
like I'm neutral with everybody. I love, I respect everybody. You know, if you did, you did, and if you didn't, I still appreciate it the
It's
same.
still all
you know?
good, you know?
All day
Because
long.
that ain't gonna stop you from
And
doing
no,
what you're doing.
I'm
you
doing
know?
what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, transformation of the mind is what
Oh,
got me
that's-
where I'm at.
That's big.
Not
That's big.
my location or the people you hang
That's
with.
it.
You know, people always say, you know, who you around. You know, true. You know, show me who your 5 friends are, and I'll show you who you are.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah,
But at the
that-
same
that's
time,
real. That's real.
that's real.
That's real.
But if you change your mind, you know what I'm saying, hopefully that transformation is strong enough to influence anyone that might be negative
Man.
around you.
That's big.
You know?
That's big.
Yeah,
That's big.
because you can't make me do something I don't want to do.
Right.
You know, so
Absolutely.
and you ain't gonna stop my focus. Because my
Absolutely.
focus is a mission, you know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
I'm on that mission.
You're going to have people following your mission
Exactly.
once you have one.
Right.
Once you have one, you can be that leader. They're going
Right.
to want to follow that.
Right. And if
Period.
they don't, then you just keep
All
it
right.
moving.
Keep it moving.
You know?
Somebody's going to follow
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. So yeah, you here now, and everything's looking good. Like things are moving in a great direction.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
let me ask you this: like, what is your like ultimate vision for this brand, this business? What do you see yourself in like 5, 10 years down the road? What do you want this to be?
And I want it to be like bigger than Detroit versus everybody. I want it to be an actual fashion brand. I don't want it to be just a T-shirt. I don't want it to be just, you know, a tourist type. You know, everyone's like, oh, put your stuff in the airport. You know, that's not fashion to me. And that's just my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I don't want it to be in a store where people come and visit and they're like, oh, I visit Detroit, but here's a Detroit brand. I want it to be a fashion brand. I don't want it to be, you know, something that you pick up when you go to Canada Bridge and you're coming back and forth. That's not what I want. You know, I don't see that.
Okay.
You know, I want it to be something that you, when you wear it, you're like, you know what, I can put this Detroit Forever shirt on with these J's and it looks sweet and I'm out.
Yeah, even if you're in LA,
right,
Atlanta,
even if you're in LA,
Cali.
wherever you at. And I ship out to a lot of people. So I don't see it being that touristy shirt. That's not what I want it to be. I want it to be that fashion brand, urban brand that we all wear. But I'm also going to come out with, you know, I'm going to grow every time. I'm manufacturing my own apparel as well. So it's not just a brand that you buy a T-shirt and you print on. You know, this is all manufactured like Nike would or anybody else. You know, just because I'm local doesn't mean that I'm not doing the same thing that the bigger companies are.
Well, I can say this because I've been here and I checked. Matter of fact, I got a shirt on. I bought one, and my girl bought one.
Sure did.
But I'll say this: the brand is out cold. I love the brand. I love the logo, all that. But the quality of the shirt and all that, I mean, it's top notch. It's like any other top notch shirt you're gonna buy. So you're already on the right track. So
I took pride in it. You know, I did at first. You know, I dealt with some shirts that I didn't like, and I stopped. You know, I was like, you know what? Learning process. I stopped. Let me get this going a different direction. So I did, and you know, I came up with that brand that I use there, and it's quality. It's not gonna, you know, they shrink a little bit, you know, but that's in anything. But as far as the shirts and the jogging suits that I'm coming out with and things, everything I do is based off, you know, pride in my name, and as well as I want to give people quality. Even if you pay whatever you pay for, I want you to be satisfied with the product that I produce.
And you got your name on it, so of course that's what you want.
Yeah, for sure.
So you see yourself having like more locations in different areas.
I would like to have a bigger location.
Bigger
location first, and then you know, if God's will is for me to be other places in different locations, I wouldn't want to spread myself out too thin. I think that's you know, a recipe for like disaster, in my opinion. I would like to just go ahead and just have a nice big location, and you know, go from there and see what happens then. But I'm also, as I'm doing this, I'm also developing other projects when it comes to clothing brands. So there's going to be extensions to this. Like I have the Roma line for the girls, which is more backwards.
Talk about that a little bit. Yeah, I like that idea.
I did something for the girls because some girls thought that my brand was a little masculine, the logo I mean. So I came out with the logo, which I also designed while I was incarcerated. And it's just something for girls, you know, something sensitive, something different. Yeah,
my girl bought one, so I know she liked it. You know?
So it's kind of cool. And it has to do with you know, love, which, you know, girls
love is everywhere.
Everywhere, you know. So you know, hearts, you know, just things of that nature. I wanted a more feminine line for girls, something to represent them. So, you know, I thought that would be kind of cool for the girls. So.
That was a slick idea because it says Roma, right? But when you turn around and look at it in the mirror, it says more, and that's love, you know? And I think that's like a good conversation piece. Because like her friends at work, they're going to see it like, what does that say? And then she can talk to them, and that brings attention. Well, so that's kind of dope. I like that.
Thank you. This is the age of digital. Everything is digital. Everything's selfies. Everything is about, you know, social media. So the idea was, if you're going to be taking selfies, then you would see what the actual reflection of it was, which would be amor, which is what we all try to spread, which is love. You know, so even if someone's looking in your rearview mirror and they see your shirt, it's going to say, it's going to say love.
I like that. I like that. That's different, man. That's different. So that's cool. So let me ask you this: like you're in this business. Is there anybody that you look up to or that you look to see, like, I'm going to kind of follow that kind of style or anything like that? Was there anybody that you see that came before you that you...
Well, I appreciate all Edgar Torres' designs. Edgar Torres actually helped me design that shirt right there at the top. You can't really see it, but that's another brand. Edgar is a great artist. He's a great creator. He helps me visually.
Where's he from?
He's from Detroit. He's from Detroit as well. He helps me design. He gives me my opinion, on certain things. We may not agree on everything, but
when you have your vision. So,
when we did Porter Rock gear, he had real great designs. I looked up to him. I thought it was a great idea. It was a great brand. That's what. But like currently, I would say Jordan Craig. I like Jordan Craig and I like Cult.
Okay.
Yeah. So those
Jordan Craig is dope. I got a couple of them right there.
I like his style. Brand. Yeah, I love his style. And it's moderate as far as pricing.
Right.
You ain't gonna kill the bank with that, but. Also, Cult is a little more expensive, but I do like some of the stuff that they do.
Still a nice style.
Yeah, still a nice style. Kind of like in between plain and a little bit out there a little bit. So I like colors, but I also want to be as neutral as I can.
Okay.
But I do. That's two of the brands that I like the most.
That's what's up. That's what's up, though. And actually, that's two good brands you're looking at. So I like where you're going with it. So, all right. So let's get into a couple of numbers if we can.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people out here that are listening, they're sitting back, they're thinking they want to start a business, they want to do something, but it's like they don't know what numbers, like what does the building cost, like rent, do they have to buy it? So is this something that you had to rent this building, buy the building, like what kind of
this building is being rented.
So people can rent a building if they want to start a business.
Yes, exactly. You can rent the building, you can lease the building. I'm on a lease with this building.
Okay.
And what I did was I got tired of delivering hoodies and shirts out of my trunk, out of my car, because that's what I was doing. Because I lived out in Inkster at the time.
Okay.
And
Master P started off selling CDs in his trunk. Exactly. Now he's a multi-billionaire, so I just want to say that.
Exactly. So that's what I got tired of doing. So I said I got to find something that's cost efficient.
Okay.
I got to find something that's going to allow for the brand to grow and as well as pay for itself.
Okay.
So. You got to know your numbers. You got to know what your markups are going to be.
That's important.
Yeah, I recommend if your markups ain't at 300%, you got to get them down. You got to get everything to at least at 300% and up. Then you're going to start making money.
So the markup has to be 300%.
And I say that because,
tell my people what that means. Because
for sure.
Okay.
What I mean by that is if you're paying $10 to produce a shirt, then that shirt should sell for $30.
Okay.
And by that I mean it's because you're paying $10 for the shirt, you're paying for the next shirt, which is the next $10, and then you're making your profit. So that's how that generally works in most business.
Okay.
Is that so you always want to get your costs down as much as you can, in my opinion.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I learned that because I had bought a bar for a little while off a friend of mine, and he was the one explaining that to me. And as I started reading business books and marketing books, that's the same range, anywhere from 3, 4, 5 up. So even at the time that you start, when you get into printing, that is also dependent on the amount. So you can earn, make your money up for your inventory. The higher the inventory, the less it's going to cost you.
Okay.
So if you're producing 12 shirts, you're not going to pay the same amount as if you're producing 50 shirts or 100.
Okay.
Exactly. So it depends on that. So that's when you start making your money. You may take a loss for a little while until you get to that range where you, that's why I don't print. I outsource everything.
Okay, because that makes sense.
Right. I outsource because I am printing 100 shirts, 50 shirts. As to like Detroit versus everybody, they're printing thousands of shirts.
Right.
Nike, they have their own. I'm sure they got their own factories.
Yeah.
You can't even compete with that.
And they can put more out. If you're doing it yourself, then it's just going to take more time.
They're probably paying $2 to produce a whole shirt.
Yeah.
So, being a small business, you want to be able to pay the least amount as you possibly can. So, that's how I do it. And sometimes I don't get that 300% markup.
Right. That's the goal, though.
Yeah, that's the goal. But at times I don't. It might be 28, might be, or 280. You know what I'm saying? But it might be less. It might be more. But it just depends. Like your hoodies are expensive to make. So
that's more material.
They're expensive, but they sell a lot, so it helps build my inventory. You know, that's how I build my inventory. So, but I don't make a lot of profit off of police and stuff like that.
And I heard like when you first start a business anyway, you don't make a lot of money coming out the gate. A lot of people actually lose money.
You lose. You're expected to lose within the first up to 5 years.
Right.
Actually, have a loss.
Because you have to build the brand. You have to get it out there.
People gotta like it. People gotta accept it.
Yeah. And money that you do make, you have to put it back into the business.
Or you won't grow. You'll be stagnant. So if you take your profits and say, hey, well, I made $100 off this shirt, I'm gonna go buy me a pair of Air Maxes or whatever. Yeah. Then
I love Air Maxes, but let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I mean, make those sacrifices. You know, be willing to, you know, say, hey, instead of spending this, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. And I put a lot of my money back into the business. You know?
Okay.
I don't splurge. You know, none of that. So I'm trying to grow. And in order to grow and manufacture your own, where your clothing is its own apparel, its own brand, you will have to, you know, make sacrifices and spend that money, because it's more cost effective when you make it out the country, but at the same time they want a certain amount to be ordered as well. If not, then the pricing is going to be, you know, it's going to be offset. So if you're ordering 12 shirts across seas to be made, shipping is going to kill you. So if you order, you know, 50, 60, 70 jogging suits, then they're going to give you a little break. So quantity is everything. Or you could print yourself if you have the time to do that all day. I don't have the time to do that all day. You know, I don't use vinyl, so I don't have a vinyl press. You know,
you're not going to be able to put the numbers out if you're doing it yourself.
And it's just like then if you're doing it yourself, then you got to remember you got to pay for your time. You got to hope that you're making enough money for everything. So
time is money.
Time is money. And I just don't have the time for it.
So I need everybody out there to really pay attention to what he said though. Number one, time is money. And number two, sacrifices. You had to make sacrifices. This is a long play. This brother ain't here trying to get rich tomorrow, next week, next month. It's a long play. You got to put in them sacrifices. When you make money off your business, because people are buying product, you're going to take that money that you make, put it back into your business so it can grow. And you got to have that plan, and you got to have that mindset to know, I'm trying to make my money 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. A lot of guys don't like that, though.
No, a lot of guys. You know, when we was in the game, you remember how it was. You know, you're gonna get this. I'm gonna make this amount, so I'm gonna take this out the top.
2, 3 days, week tops, you're making your double. You know, but fast money don't last long. I mean, we got to learn that by now. We got to know that by now, man.
Right, and that's why I came up with several ideas when I was incarcerated. I came up with, like I said, this. I came up with the cartoon idea. You know, as I started drawing and just kind of like. Wanting to do those things, you know, like
But you want to have a cartoon, like on the TV and all that.
We're gonna start off with like a web comic. It's called a Body comic. It's actually on Facebook, and I have Sam Soto, who is the illustrator. He's in California. You know, he has his own life, so you know, it's something that we're both working on together. I reached out to him. I was incarcerated.
Absolutely,
and he accepted. He was like, "Hey, I want to be a part of it. I like what you're doing," I'm hoping for someday to have its own platform as well. Like Boondocks, you know.
Boondocks. That's big. I fuck with Boondocks, man.
Rob Dyrdek had his Wild Grinders, and you know you have your Latino comic or audience with just Dora, you know. So I was just laying there one day. I was like, damn, we don't have a cool Latino.
There's a big audience out there for that.
Exactly,
you're right.
You know, so
that's kind of smart.
So I was like, you know what? Let me come up with something. So I did. I drew up some sketches. I sent them to Sam. Sam was like, well, this is what we went back and forth for about 2 years. On JPEG. Coming up with character design.
Another shout out to JPEG.
Another shout out. Hey, utilize that JPEG.
You got to
utilize that JPEG. If you got someone that's willing to spend that time to email you, reach out to them.
That's love.
And I even taught a mortgage class while I was incarcerated, how to buy your first home, and that's how I got all the information through JPay, and I would just print it out.
That's what's up.
So then, you know, you get authorization from the facility to facilitate these classes.
I was in transfer like that, man.
Yeah, man. You know, so I hope so. You know, I got a lot of the guys that were in these classes are actually still in contact with me. And they're actually most of them home.
That's what's up.
So everyone's doing their own thing. But Chance for Life helped me a lot, man. It was.
I was in that class.
You was in Chance for Life?
Yeah, I was in Chance for Life.
You know, I was a facilitator.
So I never made it that far. But it was a good class. It was a good class.
It helped me with, you know, realize a lot of my errors in thinking, obviously. You know, how I thought this, I thought that. I was just like, leave. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, there's a lot of things that I do in these errors in thinking that I just
open up your mind to some things, seriously.
Yeah. Obviously, look what you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing this before. You wouldn't have thought about it.
Right,
you know, I like this. You know what I'm saying? I think everyone should expand to what they feel their creativity is meant for.
Absolutely.
When you have a creativity, you have a talent, then put it to use.
Put it to use. You know? Something positive, you know?
Yeah, people think artists are starving, but you know, I mean, nowadays, I mean, if you do it the right way, you can sell on Etsy, you can sell on Shopify.
Nowadays, more than ever, you know, this is the time to put your creativity to work and to make money off of it.
Exactly. So
it's
it helps, you know. So, but you also got to have a support system. You know, if people didn't support me and what I'm doing, then I wouldn't be successful.
Right.
You know, and that's the honest to God's truth. You know, people gotta like what you're doing in order for you to even continue to be successful. You know, because this is its own brand. It's not like you can come in here and say, "Hey, print me a shirt." So I don't do that. You know, and nothing against that. It's just not what I choose to do. Yeah. But this is its own brand. Detroit Forever 313 is its own brand. So, you know, they gotta like it and like who you are. You know, who you are makes a big difference.
That's a big thing. That's big. That's big. And you're a solid guy. So you know what I mean. So it's gonna work out. I already see it. So yeah. So for people to actually start, I just want to get right back to this real quick. For somebody to start this kind of business, like how much money would they need to just to get it going, just to get it off the top, you know?
It depends. I mean, honestly, I bought, I think it was 40 shirts, man, and printed 40 shirts out. Okay. And it didn't even matter what they cost. I just said, hey, this is what I got. And how much does it cost for this? And he was like, well, it's going to cost you this. And I said, well, how about for this? So we just played what I had. I think I had a ballpark figure of like $400 and something.
For 40 shirts?
Like, no, you know what I'm saying? That's what I had to spend at the time. I said, I'm going to take this money. You know, it's like a free check. I'm working. I had enough money. I'm like, you know what? Let me take this money and I'm going to go to the t-shirt place. Okay. I'm going to talk to this guy and see what he's going to charge me. You know, I think I ended up spending like $400 and with him and started from there. And then I just started calling people.
So if somebody wanted to start off with, you said 40 shirts?
Yeah, that's what I started off with.
Okay, so if they want to start off with 40 shirts, if they had a nice logo they created and they had a little something, they can start off with like $400 or $500 if they negotiate it right.
Yeah, probably. If you find the right printer, you can start off with about $400. You got to have your own logo. You got to, you know.
Okay, so you got to do that first part of the work.
I would say first get your logo.
Okay.
Get your LLC or protect your logo. Get your trademark protected.
Okay, so get the logo protected.
Yeah, and then
go
talk
to the
your printer and see, you know, what their prices are, because everyone varies in pricing.
Right.
Not everyone's gonna. There's setup fees for that. They got screen charges if you want vinyl, if you want screen printing. You know,
so there's a different way to print the t-shirts.
Yeah, learn your craft first of all.
Yeah, learn your craft. Do your research.
Yeah, learn your craft. If you want vinyl shirts, which is nothing wrong with that. If you want screen printed shirts, if you want DTG, which is direct to garment, if you want sublimation, you know, you got to learn these things. You know, which one is going to be more effective for you, and what you prefer.
So what do you do?
I do nothing but screen printing and embroidery. You know, screen printing and embroidery.
Screen printing and embroidery.
Embroidery is the stitching. Screen print is what you have on that shirt right there.
I like the screen print. I ain't gonna lie. I like the screen print.
That ain't gonna come off.
That's not gonna come off.
No, your shirt's gonna deteriorate before that does.
You see how small this shirt is and how I'm not big, but you know what I mean. It is holding real tight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
if you wash it, you gonna like it even better when you wash it because it's gonna be snug.
It's gonna get tighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and if I do about 10 or 20 push-ups,
you're gonna be sweet.
I'm sweet to go.
Your girl gonna be real happy.
You know. So yeah, that's
just know your craft. Know what kind of options are out there for you when you're you know what's going to benefit you. There's a lot of people that do vinyl prints at home. There's a lot of people that have shops that do vinyl printing. There's a lot of people that have embroideries at home. There's a lot of home shops now because it's so easy with the internet to do all this stuff. I mean, it's like I said, I met my manufacturer online.
Social media is big.
Social media is big. Social media is big. You can print T-shirts from New York and have them here. You know, it just depends what you want to do, what you prefer to do. But first, protect your name.
You gotta protect your name and then do your research, do your homework.
Yeah, because you don't want to use someone else's design. You want to make sure if you're using any kind of art off the internet that it's free of royalties.
Yeah. Make sure you do it.
Don't do that. And go from there. You know. So I just use screen print.
So you got to do your homework, but so my thing is like you don't have to start 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 to start this business.
No, because everything is based on social media, so your overhead doesn't have to be in a building. You don't have to start your business off in a building.
There it is.
You don't have to start off like, oh, I need a building to do this, do that. You can do that at your home. You can do it wherever.
Right.
It's an at-home business.
There it is.
Just make sure as you do it, and if you grow, that you have the correct like regulations. Because even though you have a home business, you still have to follow certain rules.
Right. Yeah.
But as far as I didn't start in a building. I just started off, at home. I came up with the logo. I took it to him. Took it to him and gave him the design. He created it, and I just kept pushing the shirts, hoodies, and hats. And as you go, you learn more.
Yeah, and like I said before, like when people see you doing something positive, doing something real, they're gonna support that. And that's gonna get you out the gate.
Yep.
And then you'll start to support your grow your following, and get more money, get more sales.
You have to have faith in what you're doing too. You have to have confidence in what you're doing. Once you get a general response of people appreciating or liking what you do, then you can just I don't know if someone's gonna come in here and buy 100 shirts, but I will order 100 shirts. I'd rather have them than not.
Absolutely.
But after having my first start off and then ordering what I do, I just order on, what I think is gonna sell. I'd rather sell out than not, sit here with it.
Not having,
So,
you see people fucking with it. So, I mean, you already won the head up on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, that all sounds good. I ain't gonna lie. So, all right, so everything looked good. The numbers looking good. You moving in a positive direction. I want to ask you, do you sell online as well?
Yeah, I also sell online. I got a website, DetroitForever313.com. I got that's our email as well, Detroit. No, actually, DETFOR313 @gmail.com. And then I have Instagram as well, DetroitForever313.com. And on Facebook, I use my actual personal Facebook. And the only reason I do that is because I get more of a response on my Facebook.
Okay. Tell people your name on there. So
just Jose Rivera. Try to look for my face, I guess, or something relating to it, because my son has the same name, and a lot of people, his friends will request me, and a lot of people go to my friends'
son ain't going like the dad. So make sure you get the right Jose.
My son looks just like me, except he's a little more light skinned, but
So there it is. They got the Instagram, they got the Facebook, they got the hookups, man. So I just want to know, do you have anything coming up, any events that people can look out for?
Yep. Actually, March 8th, we got a fashion show at the corner ballpark. It used to be the old Tiger Stadium. We're going to be doing that on Sunday. It's going to be from 6 to 12. We're going to be releasing all our summer, spring line. We're going to have a lot of vendors there. We're going to have different vendors' flavors. We're going to have trap. We're going to have Stone Jungle's going to be there. We're going to have makeup by Madi Soul. She's going to be there doing makeup. We're going to have Lucero there. We're going to have an artist, MCG Ace. He's going to be performing on a breakout performance by him. We're trying to bring out all Latinos, everybody from Southwest. We're trying to make sure Latinos stand up and represent that we are a force to be dealt with as well. So.
Damn, okay, Hey, don't miss this, because I'm telling you right now, I've already seen the product. The products are dope, man, and their quality. They don't cost all that much, so y'all got to check this out, man. It's a movement.
We also got another event at the Old School Party.
I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, that's going to be at the White Rhino. I believe it's March 31st or something. March 14th. So we got an event. We're going to be there. We do a lot of pop-ups. I do a lot of pop-ups. So if you're on my page, you'll see me post for different pop-up events. I do the White Rhino. I do the Annex. Just different locations. So look out for those as well.
All right. Well, hey, listen, y'all got all the hookups, man. Y'all see where to find this brother, man. Get on there and find him.
Yep. And our location is at 6897 Michigan Avenue.
Tell them one more time.
6897 Michigan Avenue, right across the street from McDonald's.
There it is. Detroit Forever 313. You gotta come check it out. All right, so listen, man. I'm gonna give you guys a lot of information, man. A lot of free game, man. If you don't take advantage of this, he done broke a lot of shit down for you. He done told you the blueprint. He told you how much it costs. He told you the avenues A to Z how to get there, man. If you wanted to hustle and do it in a positive way, it might be a clothing business. It might be a restaurant, food. Just whatever you want to do, man. He already told you got to put in that time, sacrifices, that energy, and people that really are close to you that see you doing something, they're going to support that, man.
You can't do it alone. That's one thing. You can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it alone. And you're going to get that support when they see you really doing something, So he didn't just get like, here's $100,000, $200,000 in your pocket just to start. He grinded. He got out the joint, came home, and grinded this shit from the bottom.
Still grinding. Still grinding.
So you see it's possible. And I need people to see that it's possible. You just got to want to have the grind to do that shit. That's why I call my shit Detroit hustle and business.
That's right.
Because you hustle to make your shit a business. And
Right.
business is hustle and hustle is business.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
It just depends on where you take your
going.
shit.
Yeah,
where you going with it.
Yeah, where you going with it. Yeah, yeah.
So there it is. So once again, Detroit Forever 313, my brother Jose Rivera, man. Come check him out. Support his hustle, support his brand because it's really something to support. And March 8th is their fashion show.
Yeah, March 8th on a Sunday. And then March 14th is the old school party. We're going to be there. So back to back, I'll be there. Old school party, freestyle, and everything representing Southwest. So
you know what it is.
I got to give a shout out to Tony Mendez for that. He always affords the opportunity for that. So
shout out Tony Mendez.
Yep, that's right. So
you know what it is.
Let's be there.
So there it is. Make sure you be there, man. So all right.
And March 8th is a free invitation. All we ask is donations for the PAL organization, which is an organization for the youth. There is no cover, nothing like that. You can drop $1 in the box, $2. I don't care what it is. We're just trying to help the youth as well, so that their fund for sports and things of that nature. It doesn't just go unnoticed. So we definitely want to that's the fee. Just to give a donation for the PAL organization.
Man, you can't beat that, man. You gotta want to support that.
Yeah.
Stop playing.
You're right.
So come on, check it out, man.
Definitely.
All right, y'all, man. We out, man. Another episode down. Detroit hustle in business. All right, Detroit Forever 303. My brother Jose. Check him out.